In LA this week, saying goodbye to a beloved city council member. Bill Rosendahl dies at the age of 70. We'll take a look back at the legacy he leaves behind.
This first ever showcase here blends Hollywood movies with Hollywood history. I'm Anna Margos and we'll take you to the Wattles Mansion Showcase Tour coming up.
More green space, better bicycle access, and easier traffic flow. How city officials plan to bring all this to downtown Los Angeles. I'm Rasha Goel, and that story's up next.
Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. Our top story, people knew him as an icon, a character, and a city leader who cared about people. Former LA Council member Bill Rosendahl has died at the age of 70 after a long battle with cancer. Many of his colleagues took to social media to pay their respects. His successor and longtime friend Mike Bonin posted on Facebook, "Heaven is alive with more life and energy than ever today. Freshly blessed with the exuberant, positive, loving spirit of Bill Rosendahl. My heart wants to ache, but instead swells with love when I think of Bill and the way he lived his life. I love you, Bill." California Governor Gray Davis tweeted, "We have lost the finest. Bill was a man of the people, an advocate. Heaven just got a lot better." Mayor Eric Garcetti tweeted, "Our city and world lost a great friend and giant of social justice. He had the biggest heart I know, and I will miss him deeply." Councilmember Jose Huizar posted, "A great champion for the LGBT community and dedicated public servant. Bill was a voice for all Angelenos." LA City Attorney Mike Feuer posted, "Bill was larger than life, brimming with ideas, enthusiasm, and generosity. He will be greatly missed by all of us whose lives he touched." And LA City Council President Herb Wesson posted, "From all of us at City Hall, rest in peace, Bill Rosendahl." Few can forget his 8 years on the LA City Council, where he touched the lives of so many. Anna Marcos takes a look back.
From his first day as council member for the 11th District in 2005,
I do solemnly swear,
to his last day on the job in 2013 when he struggled to walk, Bill Rosendahl was known for one phrase above all others.
Great, 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 great.
The phrase seemed to sum up his take on life and his unstoppable, optimistic, can-do attitude.
Working for Bill has been a seminar every day in possibility.
Rosendahl became LA's first openly gay council member.
Our nature is our nature. We don't determine our nature. Either we accept ourselves or we don't.
A huge supporter of gay rights, he helped usher in LA's first LGBT Heritage Month.
It's a historic first. We have arrived in this city and we see ourselves with basic civil and human rights.
Another of his passions, as chair of the Transportation Committee, Rosendahl fought hard for increased mass transit, for modernizing LAX without expansion, and for finding greener ways to get around.
Nothing will improve our air quality more than mass transit. And high-speed rail will be a dramatic opportunity for us to clean up our air.
If there was a human rights cause, Rosendahl was ready to fight, whether it was veteran services, affordable housing, or helping the homeless.
You were the champion for our veterans, for our working people, for the LGBT community, for women, for the poor, for the homeless. In fact, you are the Venice Statue of Liberty.
The people in his district love him.
Rosendahl was an earth lover in word and in practice. He kept his own chickens, turkeys, even honeybees. A gift from Rosendahl often meant a carton of eggs.
My grandson and I eat them on the weekends. We make egg sandwiches out of them.
Then, during his second term in office, Rosendahl discovered he had stage 4 cancer. It shook his colleagues to the core.
On Yom Kippur, and I'm not the most spiritual person in the world, I spent the day visiting one synagogue after another and saying a prayer for you.
When my sister grew ill and died, I could not have had a better and stronger person at my side than Bill Rosendahl, who gave me the room to be with my family and with my sister. Thank you.
Rosendahl chose to retire and focus on his health. Even then, he went out fighting for what he believed in.
Nobody is magic. We are together magic. And as a group, we can make a huge difference.
He had worked on Senator Bobby Kennedy's 1968 presidential campaign. He'd been there the night Kennedy got shot. He'd been a military vet, a journalist, and TV producer who cared about civic affairs. But most of all, he'd been a city leader who cared deeply for the rights of those in his district.
Thank you for being the spiritual, caring human being that you are, Bill.
It is great.
Councilmember Mike Bonin wrote a Facebook post before Rosendahl died, saying he was happy at home, surrounded by family and friends, with the sounds of his chickens and the fresh breeze he loved so much. Rosendahl died a short time later. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
In lieu of flowers, donations in his memory can be made to any of his favorite organizations helping youth or the homeless. Well, turning to our other top stories, plans to expand a landfill in Glendale are still on the table despite some possible health risks. Gil Reyes has more from the Eagle Rock-Glendale border. Gil.
Yes, Yana, residents against the planned expansion of the dump site just a little bit up the road from here say it's not just the environmental risks. It's also the fact that these are City of LA roads that are required to get up there, even though the trash is not from the City of LA.
The Shoal Canyon landfill off the 134 freeway is located in Glendale, but trucks have to travel City of Los Angeles streets to get there. That's a problem for LA City Councilman Jose Huizar.
You can see here today the traffic that flows to the dump every day, bringing noise, litter, and diesel pollution to Eagle Rock.
All that pollution from a dump that City of Los Angeles residents can't even use. That's why Huizar is against a possible expansion of the Glendale landfill. Expansion would raise the site by nearly 200 feet and allow 8 million more tons of trash. Some say this would worsen area pollution.
Let us not forget that this regional dump is surrounded on all sides by residential communities, parks, and schools. Of special concern are the preschools and elementary schools closest to the dump.
They can negatively impact our health, increasing the occurrence of asthma, emphysema, lung cancer.
Also possible contamination to area groundwater. A draft environmental impact report 2 years ago detailed some of the health risks from expansion. More recent studies by UCLA and Caltech say there's an active earthquake fault near the site. So why are Glendale's elected leaders still considering expansion?
Glendale elects all of its representatives at large, so there is no member specifically from the dump-affected neighborhoods that are most heavily burdened by the pollution or the dangers coming off of the dump.
Glendale city officials could vote on the matter this summer. Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Opponents of expansion say it contradicts the City of Glendale's plans to significantly reduce pollution over the next decade. Well, it's another step in the multi-pronged approach to tackling homelessness in the City of LA. And this one is helping to clean up the streets in South LA's Council District 9. Anna Marcos has more.
Close to 2,500 people live on the streets in South LA's Council District 9, one of the highest concentrations of homeless people in the city. But more of them are now getting help as Councilmember Curran Price adds more specialized outreach teams in the street.
This issue is not about institutions or agencies or organizations. It really is about individuals. It's about neighbors, family and friends.
Price has announced a $300,000 plan to get more of the homeless in his district off the street and into housing. People like Sandra Nunez and her kids.
My children and I are homeless, and it is wonderful to find out that there are different organizations to assist us. As a person, I feel so happy. I'm happy that there are others reaching out to me, and I'm very, very grateful.
Price says 40 people are now transitioning into housing and other social services as a result of his team's latest outreach efforts.
This includes 2 homeless vets and 1 pregnant woman.
A critically mentally ill homeless woman was located and hospitalized at Harbor UCLA. while the family was contacted to start the process to guarantee continuing psychiatric services and supportive placement.
Residents support the homeless outreach efforts after battling the homeless problem in their own neighborhoods.
Thank you, Councilman, for your hard work, for doing to help the homeless while also helping to protect the quality of life for your constituents.
Price plans to continue to work to find more permanent housing, and in following with the city's new homeless strategic plan, he will also identify parking lots to serve as temporary shelters. Mobile showers and more storage facilities for the homeless are also in the plans. But the rise out of homelessness and into housing is often measured in small steps, one person at a time. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
There are more than 44,000 homeless people in LA County. Well, after-school programs that help boost student achievement are being threatened by lack of funding. As Gil Reyes reports, the drive is on to raise financing for the first time since 2006.
Parents rally outside LA City Hall to support more funding for California's after-school programs.
This program, this vital program, has not received an increase in funding for nearly a decade.
And the services and the cost of living has gone up and up and up.
That's why Councilman Bob Blumenfield and his colleagues on the LA City Council unanimously support Assembly Bill 2663. It would add another $74 million to state after-school programs, an extra $1 a day per child. The measure would also adjust future spending increases to the rate of inflation. Supporters say not passing this could threaten LA's Best, a local after-school program for kids ages 5 to 12. UCLA studies show students enrolled in LA's Best are less likely to drop out of school in later years.
This is not daycare. It's an extension of our school day. It's where kids can get extra tutoring in math, science, and reading. It's where our kids are getting tutored because their parents can't be home by the time some of our kids get out of school.
Insufficient funding levels have hindered the ability of after-school programs like LA's Best to attract and retain quality staff, which has resulted in reduced staffing hours.
Councilman David Rue authored the city resolution to support the bill now under consideration in the state capitol. It could come down to Governor Brown, who ignored a similar measure last year. That's because California already receives more than $500 million for after-school programs annually. That's more than any other state. But the city council says that's still not enough to offset cost of living and other increases over the past decade. Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Supporters say 50,000 students statewide could be shut out of after-school programs without additional funding. Well, with a fast-growing city, leaders look to keep up with the changing trends to make downtown LA an easier city to navigate. Rasha Goel has more. Rasha.
Yana, I'm here in downtown Los Angeles at Spring Street Park, where city officials are saying that over the next 5 years, over 80,000 residents are expected to live here in downtown Los Angeles. So they've put together a plan that's going to help make downtown LA more residential friendly. And not just for residents, but anyone who commutes or visits this international city of angels. On the forefront is Councilmember Jose Huizar, who has been working on what's known as the Downtown LA Forward Initiative, which focuses on improving traffic flow, pedestrian and bicyclist access, along with increased green and public space in downtown LA.
Whether it's pedestrian head start crosswalks that give pedestrians a 4-second head start, or green alleyways that make alleys a place you actually want to walk down, or reimagining our parks like Pershing Square Renew is doing.
Huizar has been working with the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, the Los Angeles Department of Transportation, and the Department of Recreation and Parks and other partners to implement the changes.
Really pulls together an amazing banner where we're going to bring 1,000 bike share bikes to downtown in just a few months, where we're going to take Spring and Main from really great streets to amazing streets. Where we're going to prioritize pedestrian safety and the most vulnerable users.
We're just really excited to be a part of the community in downtown and to continue to provide these great services and great parks
Officials look to make downtown more functional, accessible, and safer with 3 top goals in mind.
1, creating more livability in the downtown area. 2, continuing to promote economic development and tourism. And 3, working to connect downtown's distinct neighborhoods through alternative modes of transportation and creating more walkable and bikeable streets.
Something we all hope to experience very soon. In Los Angeles, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Councilmember Huizar has led other initiatives in his district, including bringing back Broadway and Pershing Square Renew. Well, it's a Tinseltown mansion that's mixing a little Hollywood with a little history. The Wattles Mansion Showcase is a first-of-its-kind tour, and it's now open for business. Anna Marcos takes a look.
The historic Wattles Mansion just went Hollywood big time. The Department of Recreation and Parks, which owns the property, has teamed up with local interior designers for a first-ever showcase. And for $40 a pop, the public gets an up-close look at Hollywood glamour.
To have a home that's actually in this beautiful condition from 1908 is really unusual, and people, they love to see these things.
The mansion was built by Gurdon Wattles, a banker who financed the building of the first Hollywood studios. And now the showcase, called The First 100 Years, draws inspiration from 100 years of Hollywood movies and their movie stars, like the 30s movie siren Marlene Dietrich.
We see her as a woman of courage, of strength.
Picture this, Marlene Dietrich relaxing on her chaise lounge, wrapped in furs, smoking a cigarette, listening to 30s music. Oh, I've got a phone call on my phone. That's what this room is supposed to evoke.
It's a very glamorous lounge area for an actress like her to hang out.
She did a little bit both ways. She loved, there was a picture that I saw of her kissing Hedy Lamarr. She did dress in a very masculine way with a tuxedo and top hat. So she really did cross the lines in a lot of ways.
But if Dietrich is not your style, there's a Leo DiCaprio room, a Midnight in Paris room, complete with old-fashioned typewriter, an Audrey Hepburn room, which includes a closet inspired by her famous hats, and a room that uses the movie The Birds for inspiration.
In the Birds room, the designers have used it as very lightly. It's just a beautiful sitting room upstairs, but when you open the closet, all the wallpaper inside has birds, and they have little birds as accents in there.
We really think that a lot of people don't get a chance to see a house like this, and we really welcome them to come and be able to see a house in all of its grandeur.
The Wattles Mansion Showcase will be open to the public Thursdays through Sundays from now until April 17th. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
For more information, visit wattlesshowcase.com. While the city and LA Unified reach a compromise to put their first ever senior center on an elementary school campus, Gil Reyes explores the possibilities.
The young at heart enjoy a show at the newly opened Echo Park Senior Center. It provides the elderly in this multicultural community so many fun things to do.
There is a great deal of gratitude from all of us here and for all of those who are in the community.
You can see forever and never.
Councilman Mitch O'Farrell calls the opening of this center, quote, the greatest professional achievement so far in his 2-year, 8-month term as councilman. It was a long, hard fight to finally open the center, but it happened.
Long story short, more than 50 families were evicted from this neighborhood more than a decade ago, when plans to build a school moved forward. But Councilman O'Farrell and community partners fought to have a portion of this campus reserved for the community, in this case, a senior center with free services.
So here we are with wonderful meals that will be administered, enrichment classes and programs, and interaction with the youth at the school, by the way, reading programs, etc. So seniors get to interact with young people. and it really is creating a village.
And not just with kindergarten to 8th graders attending Santa Cisneros Learning Academy. That's because older students are invited to volunteer here as well for graduation credits.
And actually having high school students come in and actually sit on a one-to-one basis with the seniors, having an instructor and then having the student helping that senior with computers.
Meeting people, meeting new people, having some new friends, and that's what we need. Helping one another, loving one another.
Remember, I'm 83, and he's 77. So, you know, you never know.
Oh, yes, I'd love to see you again.
In Echo Park, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The center is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Meals are free for visitors 60 and over. While the LA City Council takes steps to repair LA's broken sidewalks, a major sports event is coming to the Staples Center again, and an egg hunt that's helping unite a community. All these stories and more in City Beat. The Los Angeles City Council approved a comprehensive sidewalk repair plan that calls for spending about $30 million a year for the next 3 decades to do initial repair work, then return the responsibility for future fixes to property owners. The council voted 14-0 to approve a plan that follows a fix and release strategy in which the city pays for the initial repairs of sidewalks next to both residential and commercial properties. Council members said the plan will tackle a backlog of damaged sidewalks that has built up over decades. The NBA announced that Los Angeles has been selected to host NBA All-Star 2018. The 67th annual game will take place at the Staples Center, home of the LA Clippers and Lakers, on Sunday, February 18th. This will mark the record 6th NBA All-Star in Los Angeles and the 3rd All-Star at the Staples Center. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver joined Mayor Eric Garcetti and other officials at the Staples Center to make the announcement.
We're so excited. We love our basketball here in LA. I certainly do. And I'm so excited that we'll have the very best, not just in this country, but in the world, right here. And this isn't just good for the spirit of this town, it's good for the jobs right here.
Iconic shopping destination, the Beverly Center at La Cienega and Beverly Boulevard is about to undergo a major transformation. The mall's owners plan to spend $500 million to restructure the entire facility by making it more contemporary and providing a better experience for shoppers. Some of the improvements include adding natural light, opening walls to take advantage of the panoramic views, a shining new exterior, and improved parking. The Community Coalition hosted its annual Egg Extravaganza for South Los Angeles families at Martin Luther King Jr. Park in an effort to promote peace and unity. The event featured an egg hunt, games, face painting, exercise activities for adults, and a special appearance from the Easter Bunny. Officials say there's been an uptick in crime. That's why it's so important for the community to come together.
We see families, young people, grandparents, parents at every park getting involved, and so it's extremely exciting and the best of what we can do to build the kind of community we deserve.
When you bring an activity like this to a space like this, then it changes the dynamic of what this park can be utilized for.
Could it be our home air conditioning tune-up services for no cost? Well, Rasha Goel has more on a summer treat for Angelinos.
In the West Valley, air conditioning is not a luxury. It is often a life-saving measure. It is a necessity.
That's why, starting July, Angelinos will have the opportunity to save some dollars and energy thanks to a new air conditioning incentive.
By July 1st, Angelinos will be able to sign up with DWP to have a contractor come to your home for free and tune up your air conditioning.
What it does is it includes, free of charge to the ratepayer, air filter replacements, outdoor coil upgrades, airflow adjustments, coolant assessments, and much more. Steps that will reduce usage and increase savings.
There will also be an incentive offering up to $150 toward the purchase and installation of a programmable thermostat. The LADWP Board of Commissioners authorized up to $4.5 million a year for the next 3 years for the new program.
The AC Tune-Up program can help residents in the Valley and throughout LA
save between 20 and 30% on their energy costs.
And while a LADWP rate increase is in the works, Mayor Eric Garcetti says it is necessary and will help provide Angelenos with more rebates such as this one.
Just because rates go up doesn't mean that your bill has to. If you get with the program, and we have so many great programs, we can help you save money.
The less we use, the more we save, both in our pocketbooks and in energy and water resources.
City officials say the largest source of energy use is the heating and cooling systems for residents and businesses, and it's also one of the most neglected energy-saving areas, as many systems are not properly maintained. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
The air conditioning Tuneup program is for both residential and commercial buildings. Well, if your kids love Curious George, here's your chance to meet the cute monkey in person, celebrate the written word during Los Angeles Times Festival of Books, and for all of you Harry Potter fans, the waiting is over as the magic comes alive at Universal Studios. All this in this week's Things to Do. The Los Angeles Zoo and Botanical Gardens host PBS SoCal Kids Weekend. The event fills the zoo's eucalyptus grove with a variety of engaging fun for families, with book readings, themed crafts, activities, and a kids' dance party. Guests also enjoy a special opportunity to take photos with PBS Kids characters Curious George and Buddy the Dinosaur from Dinosaur Train. Curious George is available for photos between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., and Buddy is available between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. PBS SoCal Kids Weekend is Saturday, April 9th and Sunday, April 10th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The event is free with paid admission to the LA Zoo.
What I want is books, and it's all around here.
The Los Angeles Times Festival of Books is a free public festival celebrating the written word. It is the largest book festival in the U.S. Started in 1996, the festival is held on the last weekend of April, hosted by the University of Southern California, and features vendors, authors, and publishers. Some of the events are panels with authors discussing a common subject, storytelling, and performances for children, as well as the Los Angeles Times Book Prizes. The goal is to bring together the people who create books with the people who love to read them. The festival takes place on April 9th and 10th at USC, located at 850 West 37th Street. For more, visit events.latimes.com/Festival of Books.
A dream.
5 years in the making, the highly anticipated Harry Potter attraction has opened its doors at Universal Studios. Immerse yourself in the adventures while exploring the mysteries of Hogwarts Castle. Stroll through Hogsmeade Village and experience pulse-pounding rides and attractions like Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey and Flight of the Hippogriff that'll transport you into a world of magic and excitement. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kay, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.